Where did the name Jesus come from? And how did the name Yeshua become Jesus? In this video, we want to make clear the historical and etymological records of the transfiguration of the name Yeshua to the names Jesus, Yesu, and Jesus, depending on what language you are using. First, let us look at the name Yeshua and the sounds it makes in the English using the original Hebrew letters of his name. Note, this is a direct translation from Hebrew, Aramaic, into English. No Greek or Latin involved. The Hebrew letters are Yod, Shin, Wal, Ayin. Yod makes a Y sound, such as the word yes. Shin makes an SH sound, such as shadow. Wal makes an U sound, such as shoot. Ayin has no sound of its own and sounds out the vowel sound found under the letter. In this case, it is the ah sound, as indicated by the vowel underneath called a patak, a straight horizontal line whose sound is rendered as ah. So this is the pronunciation in English by using the Hebrew spelling. Ye, sh, u, ah. Yeshua. Yeshua. It's that simple. It's very easy translating from Hebrew to English because we have most of the same sounds. But now you may be asking, what about the Greek name? Iesous. And that's the way we pronounce it, and then that is the actual Greek spelling. How did that occur? The closest a Greek-speaking person could come to making a Hebrew Y sound, the Y sound, was by putting two Greek letters, iota and eta, side by side. You see iota and eta, and coming up with an EA sound. If you say EA smoothly and quickly, it closely resembles yay. As an example, I will pronounce it for you. EA, yay, yay. Hence, we have acquired the first syllable in the name Yeshua, yay. And the closest to a Greek-speaking person could come to making the SH sound was the S sound made by the letter sigma. No other choice. The next sound was to capture was the U sound of the Hebrew wal. Here the Greek uses the letters omicron and upsilon, creating an U sound. Now we have reached a pronunciation of Iesous. The last syllable is the final ah sound made by the Hebrew ayin with a patak underneath. That would give us a pronunciation of Iesua. The ah sound is a vowel. This ending sound of a vowel presents another problem in the Greek. A vowel ending in a name would indicate the female gender. It's the same problem in Latin and Spanish. Take a look at the Spanish word, señor. It is masculine, meaning man. But add a vowel at the end, and it becomes feminine, señora, meaning woman. Or you could say señorita, meaning young woman. So the Greek practice to avoid confusion was to drop the vowel and end the name with sigma, the S sound. That yields to the pronunciation of Iesous. And there you have it, the pronunciation in Greek. Other Hebrew names that were changed in that period include Barnaby, ending in a vowel, changed to Barnabas. Apollo, ending in a vowel, became Apollos. Judah became Judas. Kepha, Peter, became Kephas. Many others in the same way were changed by adding the S sound of sigma. It was not just the name of Yeshua that was changed. I must say the Greeks did the best job they could to accurately translate the name of Yeshua. It's just the name Yeshua is a task too big for the Greek language, with too many sounds incompatible between Greek and Hebrew. The Hebrew name Yeshua, and here spelled in Hebrew, with the English spelling Yod Shin Wal Ayin, is one of the most difficult to translate and impossible to pronounce correctly in Greek. Therefore, we lost the sound of Yeshua's name in Greek translation. We do, however, learn by the Greek that the true name and pronunciation of Yeshua's name was literally Yeshua. Can you all see that Yeshua was the name translated by Greek and not Yahusha or Yahoshua? We know this by means of reverse translation from the Greek back into the Hebrew Aramaic. These are among the most common errors made in translation. Let us take this study one step further by pointing out that our Messiah was raised in a predominantly Aramaic-speaking town. The Aramaic uses the same odiot as Hebrew. They're sister languages, very, very similar. Somebody speaking Aramaic would understand somebody speaking Hebrew. The Aramaic spelling of the name of Messiah is Yod Shin Wal Ayin, as witnessed in the Aramaic Peshitta. That is the exact spelling the Greek uses to translate the name Iesous, Iesous in Greek, letter by letter. Now that we have a better understanding of how the name of Yeshua changed to the Greek name Iesous, how then did this Greek name evolve to Jesus, Yesu, and Jesus? Remember, every language pronounces his name a little differently. So now we move on to the Latin influence of the language. When the Greek New Testament was translated into Latin in the 4th century, this name was written as Iesous, an exact match for the Greek that it came from. Sometime later, the Latin letter I split into two letters, I and J. Originally, this was two different ways of writing the same letter. So you could write it like this, or you could write it like this. I think I drew that correctly. But so the I in Iesous made the same sound as the J in Iesous, but they started spelling it J, E-S-U-S, instead of the I. But they were both pronounced at that time in the same way. Years later, however, some cultures began using the I for the vowel sound, I or E, and J for a Y sound, Y. It was not until around 1500 AD that the letter J took on the J, the DG sound that we are familiar with today. So the modern name Jesus comes from the Latin Iesous, which comes from the Greek Iesous, which comes from the Aramaic Yeshua, and the Hebrew Yehoshua. But since Yeshua was raised in a predominantly Aramaic culture, I believe that the Aramaic name Yeshua is the most accurate that we can find. Well, I certainly hope that this short video was a help to each of you to have a better understanding of how the name of Yeshua also became known as Jesus and the names he is called in other languages. Some of you might ask, do we start using the name of Jesus? I do know that he responds to that name because when I was 13 years old, I called on the name of Jesus and asked him to come into my heart. And what followed is a very unique and interesting story that I will put together right here for you to watch. There, I think, for you to watch if you are so inclined. Please understand, I am not telling you what to call him. You pray sincerely and ask what he wants you to call him. Follow your heart. Don't follow my words or somebody else's words. But if you enjoyed and learned from this video, please like, share, and subscribe, as this helps me a lot. And may his peace be with you. Shalom.